With all that out of the way, no further ado. Once again, everyone, thank you so much for joining. My name is Brian Van Meter. We still have a fair amount of people coming in. I'm a marketing manager here with Grandstream Networks. Today, we're going to be talking about some really exciting new products, new kind of portfolio that we are entering in with remote work solutions. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Let me share my screen here. We will jump straight into it. All right, everyone. So today we are talking about specifically our GUV 3000 series. So these are new devices that we have coming out, pretty much a completely new leg into our solutions. And these are designed to help make remote work a little bit easier. Remote work for those who are spread out from their organization, who are either high travelers, part-time commuters, or 100% work from home individuals, to be able to provide a little bit more of a professional environment for them. But before we get into that, for those who are a little bit new to Grandstream, we were founded in 2002. We have over 600 employees with offices all around the world. We are, of course, a global company providing communication and collaboration solutions to the world. Our motto, connecting the world, we stick to it. We have a wide product portfolio that contains over 50 products from our business conferencing devices, IP phones, gateways, ATAs, our networking devices, of course, our award-winning IPVDXs, and now upcoming remote work solutions. We do primarily serve the small to medium-sized markets in consumer markets. All right. So before we sort of get into this, I know a little bit of a question has been why remote work, why now type of thing. So let's look at the current state of remote work to give a little bit of an explanation why Grandstream has been so interested into it lately, and also, of course, why most of the world and its users, installers, distributors, etc., should also be interested into this market. So basically, we see that technology around the world basically continues to advance, as we know. Many of those kind of boundaries that have existed 30, 40, 50 years ago, they're sort of dissolving and really opening things up. We can reach new customers. We have a large pool of employees that we can now recruit from outside of a physical geographical area. And of course, a lot of this is all because of the advances that we've had in remote work technology, that ability to reach outside our physical area, outside of our geographical limitations, and bring more people in. And of course, COVID-19, this is something that has accelerated this trend. There's been a massive boom in the need for remote work technology, in the need for new remote work processes, and new organizational structures that have come out because of it. And as a result, a lot of companies too are seeing that their employees can be just as productive working at home than they can be in office. But this brings a new branch to our portfolio, to the Grandstream portfolio that we're really excited about. This accelerated trend, so this hybrid and remote company structure, it makes a new need for affordable and effective remote work technology. Grandstream, we're known for connecting the world, and this includes our remote work individuals, those customers out there that need professional and affordable and effective communication tools to stay productive. So let's take a quick look at the traditional organizational structure. So before it was all in one office. Very recently, everything was centralized in one headquarters. All the employees would either commute or be close enough by that they could easily walk to work and be right there in the office, 5 days of work, 9 to 5. This definitely had one big advantage to it. All of the communication, all of the collaboration that individuals need to do could be on site. If you needed to talk to anyone, it's just simple, go up the stairs, walk down to the next cubicle, knock on an office door. Whoever you need to talk to was right there. Definitely had severe limitations though, and still does. So this really limits the employee talent by the geographical area that you have. Your pool for talent is really restricted by that because of this sort of strict physical location structure. This, of course, as well, in a more sort of important way, would slow or even restrict the way a company could generate new customers as distance away from this centralized location increased. This is for several reasons. You'd always have to send someone, for an example, to go talk to the client. Someone would have to, go there. The client would have to come to you, as well as not having areas set up in different sort of more regionally separated areas. So you couldn't have sort of these regional specialists for each area that would be on site, would know the cultural norms, would know the current state of the market, and this would lead to slow adaptation times. All bad things. So organizational structures have, of course, been changing, and because of COVID-19, this has definitely accelerated this trend. But what we're seeing more and more is kind of a hybrid office style. So we have a smaller centralized office and sort of three main sort of remote workers, I guess we can call them, that we want to point out here that are all a part of this structure. So we have just your 100% remote worker. So this may be your accounting, your support teams, maybe even your marketing teams, could possibly, even be sales. But these are individuals who are almost completely separated from the centralized office. Very rarely they come in. But they are able to do all of their work and are capable of being fully productive 100% from home. The other ones we want to touch on here are part-time commuters. So these are individuals that probably come in 2 to 3 days into the office, but then spend the rest of their time back at home, working at home and out of a home office. These are individuals who need to kind of maybe have that face-to-face time and have the ability to do that. But once again, most of this work, a lot of productivity can still be driven out of a home, the right technology. Last but not least, the last individual that we're seeing is this high travel deal maker. So these tend to be your sales teams, upper management, for example. These are individuals that are very frequently traveling outside of the smaller centralized office, almost live a bit on the road, and are constantly making deals outside of your sort of, like I said, that geographical area for a company. But yeah, like I said, so this sort of developed a need and is continuing to develop a need for remote work technology. Like I said, this current organizational structure we're seeing, this sort of hybrid structure, it's decentralized. And you have a big mixture, though, of in-office, remote, and traveling employees. So you do still have that need for local communication structures for your local, for example, IPVBXs, your video conferencing, your IP endpoints, etc. But we just need to find a way to start bringing these other individuals in. And that's where remote technology comes. So, like I said, this allows for talent to be recruited from outside of a geographical area. And this also means a quicker adoption or response for distant customers. It's much easier to bring in more customers, much easier to adapt to their needs, to what's custom to them. And this is definitely a very good thing for the companies that you're probably installing into. And of course, this also means a lower operation cost for the company as well. Smaller offices, less on electric bill, less on utility bills, and of course, a little bit less on rent in this case as well. But let's take a quick look at the benefits of remote work first before we keep going. I mean, since 2005, work at home positions, they've only grown up to about 173% since 2005. That is a huge increase in the market as this trend continues to grow. Employees can be up to 13% more effective when working remote. And it's a less stressful work environment and going to result in a better work-life balance. Is definitely very good. Of course, for the employee, but also for the employer as well. As remote workers, they tend to be about 13% more likely to stay with their current employers in the next 5 years if they have this ability to work remote, work from home, if that is an option. And of course, like I said, end of the day, for your customers that you are deploying into, remote work, it provides cost savings for the employers and a wider talent pool. But this is probably the big remote work challenge. And then, when you are installing into maybe these more hybrid structures, these setups that want to have sort of remote work opportunity, they want to reach to other employees, they may ask you, well, how can my geographically separate employees and my clients, I need them to be able to work together and collaborate as if they were on site. And after all, this is a real thing. I mean, one of the biggest drawbacks of remote work is the negative impact on team collaboration and, of course, productivity. So, having all these individuals separated, it's you just don't get that same effect that you could maybe have, uh, with everyone in the same room working together. That face-to-face interaction. Anyone in sales will tell you, and I'm sure you guys know as well. It's a very powerful thing. But there's a solution to this, which is great. Remote work technology. That's our solution, especially remote work technology that's designed to promote and enhance team collaboration, to basically bring everyone together into virtual spaces where it's almost as if they are essentially there in the first place. And this is something that we are developing at Grandstream and what we'll be covering today. So let's take a quick look at some of the remote work technology solutions here. So of course there needs to be tools for the management to synchronize sort of their teams, the projects, what's happening. Software that can kind of, like I said, create these virtual meeting spaces and allow individuals to host online meetings more simplistically and effectively. That hardware that intuitively elevates the ability for individuals to communicate. This is a very important thing too. You can give your you know these users everything in the world to be able to communicate, but if it isn't a seamless experience for them, if it isn't intuitive, if it isn't user friendly, it could even end up having a reverse effect. And then of course IT tools, you guys, the installers itself, for linking hybrid organizational communication structures together. Definitely a lot of challenges come on the back end side of things when you have all these remote workers that need to be bridged in, uh, as what needs to happen for that. All right, but that leads us to our remote work solutions. So we already currently have one, which is IP Video Talk, which I'm going to cover very briefly in the next couple slides for those who aren't aware of it. But our upcoming ones, at least the ones that I want to touch on today, are going to be our GUV series of personal collaboration devices. And as you can see here, we'll actually have some new headsets coming out. And I'm sure the question's already going to pop up. Yes, these do also work with IP phones, specifically with Grandstream IP phones. I can already see that question probably coming in. And of course, our GUV webcam as well. But first, yeah, let's touch on IP Video Talk real quick for those who don't know about it, current sort of remote work solutions. So IP Video Talk is that software that I was speaking to earlier, that virtual meeting space that can be created that brings everyone together despite that distance. So it has some really great features associated with it: 1080p HD video, HD audio feed, screen sharing, content sharing, meeting and webinar modes, group and private chat, etc. But basically, all of these features are made to drive productivity in a really easy way. I mean, heck, you guys are even using IP Video Talk as you're watching this, as well as I am presenting this webinar towards you. But a big key purpose of it is being able to meet from anywhere, anytime. It helps bring in, like I said, all the sort of remote workers all together. Powerful remote meetings, can be trainings, whether it be classes, video conferences, can really be attended from nearly any device. Really easy to create virtual meeting spaces with this. Scheduling can happen, automatic invites. Of course, this is a big one for IP Video Talk, and a big request that we've definitely seen from the remote work technology market. No extra software for desktop conferencing. This is a big thing that IP Video Talk brings to the table. There's nothing, as we all know, is more annoying than when you're trying to join a meeting and you keep getting a pop up, hey, your software is outdated. Hey, you need to download this plugin. Hey, you need this. It's bulky, unuser friendly. But that's definitely something that we got rid of with IP Video Talk. It is all entirely browser based, easy to use, very seamless, and effective. But if you want to find out more information about that, that's the last I'm going to talk about this here. We're here to talk about the GUV series anyway, but go ahead and go to IPVideotalk.com. I'm going to take a quick sip of water here. All right, so the GUV series of personal collaboration devices. This was a lead in the market that we came up with, that we saw because of everything I was talking about earlier, because of this sort of new, more hybrid, decentralized setup that definitely been accelerated by COVID-19. So the two devices that we're going to be looking at today is going to be our webcam and headsets. So a quick overview of the series itself. So these devices, in essence, were designed for easy and very effective communication. We wanted plug-and-play solutions here that were simple to use and very effective. Of course, they have a very strong feature set coming to the table, very competitive. But like I was saying earlier, when it comes to deploying these for remote users, for those remote workers, they need solutions that just work. Everything is USB based with the web camera and the headsets, which we'll be talking about the benefits of that in a second. But like I said earlier, the headsets, they do support computers, laptops, IP phones, and other devices, which definitely have some great benefits I'll touch on in a moment here. And basically, this entire series, the main goal, we want to empower these remote workers, these high quality, and of course, affordable collaboration tools. This can be used with IP video talk as well and third-party conferencing platforms and soft phones. There's really not too much of a limitation on these devices when it comes to using them. Absolutely nothing proprietary about them whatsoever as well. Just keep that in mind. Can be used with pretty much anything. All right, so let's talk about the GUV 3100. So full HD USB webcam that we are presenting here to the market. So we want to aim for high quality audio with these devices. So this is for collaboration through laptops, computers, and of course anything more than that as well. But the main thing here, it enables a user to present themselves more professionally and clearly. So this can be the clients or even the coworkers as well, having that face-to-face interaction, having that crystal clear audio, of course, all very important things. And does also support some adjustable video settings. Customization with the device is very important, especially when this is traveling with an individual. They may want to customize it to the environment that they're currently in, whether this be heading to different hotels, whether it be their own at-home office, or even maybe in the actual office as well. But it's compact, very easy to transport this device, which may be a very big deal for different traveling remote workers. So taking a quick look at the technical specifications as well. Of course, it supports full 1080p full HD audio at 30 FPS. So the USB 2.0, it's a plug-and-play setup. There's absolutely no software that needs to be downloaded online whatsoever. The device is simple. Plug it in, set it up either on top of your laptop, maybe on a shelving area or something else around you, facing you, and you are ready to use it. You are ready to video conference. It has two built-in microphones with a 1 meter pickup range, just to make sure that you always have that crystal clear audio from wherever you are presenting and sitting. And on these adjustable video settings, you can adjust your brightness, the resolution, saturation of your image. That's supposed to say contrast. And of course, there's also low light settings and many more customizations that you can use with this device. And once again, this is compatible with all third-party communications platforms as well. All right, so looking at the GUV 3000 and the GUV 3005, this is our HD USB headsets that are coming out. So they provide a USB connection. So this is very flexible use and compatibility, very easy to use. Once again, plug and play. So both headsets, they actually feature noise canceling microphones. Just help eliminate sort of any outside noise that may be coming through. Has inline controls. So this allows for very quick setting adjustments from answering the call, up and down volume, and of course a mute feature, all right there, a click away. The key controls that any remote worker would require. And then also comfort is always a very big thing here that I feel a lot of headset manufacturers will sometimes overlook. But we have adjustable headbands in soft ear cushions. It's definitely something where we realize that remote workers are going to be using these for long periods of time, taking calls that could last hour, 2 hours, example. So you want to make sure whatever they're wearing is comfortable, cool, and effective. So looking at the technical specs real quick of these devices. So like I said, it does support HD audio for crystal clear communication. So anything that's going in through that microphone will be coming out to whoever this individual is presenting to in very clear HD audio. We also have noise canceling microphones. So like I said, this helps minimize background noise. So if someone tends to be remote working, they may have kids, a dog, etc., that are maybe making some noise in the background, they can be completely assured that that won't be coming out on the other end. It won't be transmitting through their microphone. So the HD USB headsets. So like I said, they pair with laptops, with computers, with IP phones, and other devices. So you can take these devices, for example, use it on your laptop, and go in office, plug it into your IP phone as well. And then, of course, the GUV 3005. This actually offers also on top of that a busy light to indicate if there's a call in progress to those around you. And of course, has a little bit more of a high quality output audio as well compared to the GUV 3000. So of course, just to provide some context here, the GUV 3000 is a little bit the lower end option, and the GUV 3005 is the higher end option in the solution line. But this is natural addition to a Grandstream UC deployment. We look at that sort of structure that we had earlier, that decentralized office where your UCM and your IP phones are deployed. It is very easy to provide these sort of remote work solutions, this technology to those who are traveling, help bring them into the organization. But the main users that we kind of want to focus on here, and you guys sort of want to look for as installers, is the remote worker, our part-time commuter, and the high travel deal maker. So let's start with the remote worker real quick and explain why this is beneficial to them. So the remote worker, they're 100% at home, working out of their office, working out of their home, and they basically require a professional communication solution. Of course, this means they need the features that work well. They need something that's seamless and easy, but they also need something that helps present them as professionally as well for when they need to speak or act or work with clients and even those around them, their coworkers. So our GUV series in this situation here for this particular user, this helps drive that productive collaboration. This is really important. This helps sort of bring everyone together in a space where they can work together and work as if they were just right there in the office. It helps also elevate that professionalism, like I said, of their workspace with clients. So working out of home, some remote workers, they may not have access to a full-on 100% office space, but providing them with the professional equipment that they need to present themselves in that sort of way is definitely will take huge steps with clients. And of course, this help reduces the background distractions and interruptions, excuse me. Individuals working out of a home, like I said, they may have family that is out and about, any pets, for example. And all these things can prove to kind of be distracting to the remote worker, especially when they're trying to collaborate with other individuals. But being able to reduce that background noise coming through the microphone, being able to put on a headset and hear crystal clear audio and sort of put yourself much more into the actual meeting, into a virtual collaboration space, definitely goes a long way. Quick drink of water. All right, our part-time commuter. This is our worker that you'll see in organizations who is, maybe 50-50 working from home, but then also in the office. But because of this, they need an at-home solution that can also be used in office. Those companies that you are installing into, they'll want solutions that can be used 100% of the time, not just 50% of the time, which that makes sense. You want your investment to pay off. So our GUV series, it provides mobile communications that can work within the in-office hardware. So your IP phones, for example, that headset can travel with the part-time commuter, can be used at home with their laptop or with their at-home IP phone, for example, so that they can use all the communication features it has for them there. But they can also take it with them in office and get all those same benefits there as well. All right. And of course, the web camera as well. It can provide an affordable video conferencing option for those smaller offices for that need to be a little bit leaner, a little bit more affordable. May not be able to sort of have those large conferencing rooms, huddle rooms, be able to invest in big video conferencing units. And if that's the case, that's just fine. The web camera is more than enough to help these individuals present themselves incredibly professionally and small and compact enough that they can easily take it with them to the office space. All right, and our high travel deal makers. Like I said, these are the individuals that live almost on the road. They are making deals with customers. They're ensuring that everything goes smoothly. They're your closers, right? Well, the closers for your customers. Excuse me. But like I said, mobile professional, they need audio and video communications. This is an absolute necessity. They really can't do their job without it, especially when it comes to connecting back with the individuals in the company itself, in that office. They need the ability to very easily stay productive and collaborative. For them, GUV series, it's compact, it's effective, it's impactful. I mean, it's really that easy. It really complements a sort of mobile laptop works lifestyle, and it turns those hotel spaces into an office environment, just allowing them to present themselves just a little bit more professionally, a lot more effectively as well. Yeah, that's the GUV series, everyone, our webcam and our headsets. But you may be asking what's more to come for Grandstream sort of remote work solutions. Well, definitely we have some new stuff that I'm pretty excited about that's coming out. We're not quite, though, at the point where, I can totally go in on it. But just know I will be presenting more information on that uh, probably in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But you know what? Why not give you guys a little bit sneak peek of that? Because if you made it this far, give you a little treat. So something that's really exciting that's coming out is the ability for you, the installers, and you may remember when I talked about it way earlier. A big component of that sort of remote work setup is also that back end architecture, being able to set up that communication solution easily and effectively. So we wanted to develop a way for you, the installers, to have sort of a more friendly remote organization setup. But what we are coming out with here and what I will be presenting probably in, like I said, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it'll provide you and also the companies you install with the ability to really easily and in a straightforward way connect your remote users to a central UCM that is on site for a company, very hassle-free. So this includes a NAT firewall traversal for those remote Grandstream audio and video endpoints to be able to really easily bring it straight into that organizational structure. So this means an intuitive management of back-end unified communications architecture. And this, of course, is all from the cloud. It's all a solution that these devices will be able to be sent out, configured with, uh, with, oh my God, I forgot the name, excuse me, but totally configured from the cloud and of course, set up easily connected. And also, Grandstream Wave is getting a pretty big upgrade as well. But more to come on that, everyone, in the coming weeks. But that's everything that I have for you today. I will be answering those Q&A questions here in a moment. If you have any more questions after this webinar, or if you're watching via Facebook or YouTube afterwards, just go ahead and leave a comment and I'll get back to you. And a quick shout out to for the sources for those earlier statistics I was talking about as well. So Global Workplace Analytics, their article on the latest work at home, telecommuting, mobile work, and remote work statistics can be found at that link. Stanford Graduate School of Business did a great article about how working from home, how it works. And there was some evidence on that from a Chinese experiment. Of course, Owl Labs as well. They do an annual State of Remote Work uh, piece. It was very helpful as well on that. A big shout out to those sources. All right, let me come back here, guys, and stop sharing my screen for a moment. Oh, wrong button. All right, there we go. Okay, everyone. But yeah, so that's everything we have on our GUV series. If you guys are happy with that, of course, you don't have to stick around. I'm going to be answering the questions in the Q&A section now. Looking through here. And then if you ask some questions in the chat as well, just try and ask that in the Q&A. So yeah, so this has been recorded and will be sent out to everyone. Okay, I had to double check myself. Had a heart attack there for a moment, but yes, this is being recorded and will be sent out. So if you want to share this with coworkers within your network, you can do that. Orla, I'll reach out to you specifically just to help you out with what you said there. So yeah, so Greg, that's a good question with the Wave app and needing something that could also help seeing and stopping SIP traffic and stuff. Definitely, as more updates are coming with the Grandstream Wave, that may assist with that. We don't really have an app that could prevent or monitor, I guess, fraudulent SIP traffic. But as the Wave gets updated and we have some great new solutions coming out specifically for Wave as well, that will bring a lot more of security, to that solution itself. So yeah, how do I plug these headsets into the phones directly? So it is USB. So of course, your phone does need to have a USB slot, but it's a easy, just USB connection. Plug it straight into your device. For example, with the GXP series, with our 2600, they all have USB slots. Just plug it straight into there, and you'd be able to utilize it with your IP phone. So yeah, so these devices are not available yet. Once again, this is a sneak peek, but they will be available. I would say start looking for them in early August. Be sure to sort of join our newsletter if you're not part of it, or just follow us on social media. We always blast everything out once these devices are available through distributors. So yes, the headset can be plugged into a laptop and completely used with the laptop. It can be used with the laptop. It can be used with an IP phone. That's kind of what's so great about it. It is a solution that really your remote worker or even any in-office worker could be able to use and just take with them anywhere. And yeah, it would work standalone with the phone as well. So yeah, the GS SIP soft phone. Like I said, more to come on that with Wave, guys. I'll be providing a little bit of insight on that. All right. Okay, so I think that was most of the questions that I saw there, guys. If you have anything more, we're pretty much reaching the time limit here that I set for it. I'll be sending an email out with this presentation a little bit later, along with the recording, and provide some answers in case I missed any of them. That are in the chat here. So I'll be touching on the chat there, and there'll be a Q&A section that I'll email out to everyone that was part of this meeting. But yeah, I'd just like to thank everyone so much for joining us today, learning about some of our new and upcoming remote work solutions. I hope all of you have a great rest of your day and, of course, a wonderful weekend that's coming up here. Take care, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.